My name's Michael, but everyone calls me Mike. I want to tell you about something that happened one summer when I was 19. It's burned into my memory so deeply that even now, more than a decade later, I still can't look at a quiet day without feeling sick to my stomach. I'll start with the part that hooked me, the thing that makes the story worth telling. We found a lake that summer, a lake that, according to every map, every local we asked, didn't exist. And by the end of it, I understood why nobody ever admitted it. It was the summer after my freshman year of college, and I was back in my hometown in rural Pennsylvania. There wasn't much to do there besides drive around with friends, drink cheap beer, or sit on the porch waiting for time to pass. That summer, I was hanging out a lot with my childhood friends, Eric and Luke. We'd been inseparable since middle school. Eric was the reckless one. Luke was quieter but always game for an adventure, and I was somewhere in between. One night, Eric brought up a story his uncle had told me. Supposedly, there was an old logging road about 40 minutes outside of town that led to the hidden lake. The way Eric told it, the place was perfect. Crystal clear water, cliffs to jump from, and no cops ever patrolling. Basically, a teenager's paradise. Why haven't we ever been there? I asked. Eric shrugged. My uncle said it's not the main map, but technically it's private land. But he used to go there when he was our age. That's the best swimming hole in the whole county. Luke is skeptical. Sounds like bull. If it was that good, everyone would know about it. But Eric wouldn't let it go. He promised he knew how to get there and said we should check it out the next afternoon. That's how it started, with what sounded like an innocent summer adventure. We set out the next day in Eric's beat-up Chevy. It was sweltering, one of those July afternoons where the air feels heavy enough to chew. We drove through back roads I barely recognized, cornfields stretching out on either side, until Eric turned onto a dirt road. I never knew it. The truck rattled and bounced as we went deeper into the woods. After 20 minutes of slow crawling, the trees opened up, and there it was, the lake. It didn't look real. The water was almost too still, like a sheet of glass. The trees around it were massive, towering pines that seemed older than anything I'd seen in the area. The whole place was silent. Not quiet like the countryside, silent. No birds, no bugs, no frogs. Just the sound of our truck's engine ticking as it flew. Hell yeah, Eric said. Ran like he did. He stripped down to his shorts and ran straight into the water before we could say anything. I followed, but slower. I dipped my hand in first. The water was cold, shockingly cold for the middle of summer. I chalked it up to maybe being fed by an underground spring. Still, the way it felt sent a shiver through me. Luke stood on the shore with his arms crossed. I don't like it. The place feels off. Eric splashed him. Don't be a baby, come on in. After a minute, Luke gave in, and the three of us swam out toward the center. The water was so dark it looked almost black, though when I lifted some in my hands it was perfectly clear. It was like the bottomless dark was swallowing everything below us. That's when I noticed the trees on the opposite bank. They looked strange, twisted, almost leaning inward like they were bowing toward the lake. The more I stared, the more it looked like faces were hidden in the bark. Not obvious, not cartoonish, but subtle. Like the knots and shadows formed hollow eyes and stretched mouths. Guys, I said, do you see that? Eric was floating on his back, not paying attention. Luke squinted, then shook his head. Just trees, man. I let it go, but something about the place gnawed at me. We stayed there for hours. We swam, climbed the cliffs, jumped off, laughed, and goofed around like kids again. It almost felt normal until the sun started setting. That's when everything changed. The air grew stiller, heavier. The water, which had been comfortably cold, suddenly felt freezing. I tried to ignore it until Luke swam up close to me and whispered, Don't freak out, but I think someone's watching us. I froze. Where? He tilted his head toward the tree line. At first, I didn't see anything. Then I caught it. Movement? A shape, maybe two, standing just beyond the trees. They weren't moving closer, just watching. Eric, I hissed. He swam over, annoyed. What? Someone's out there. He turned to look and shouted, "Hey! Who's there?" His voice echoed weirdly across the lake, stretching longer than it should have. The figures didn't move. "Let's go," Luke said firmly. "Now." We swam back to shore as quickly as we could. By the time we reached our clothes, the figures were gone. We didn't stick around to investigate. Eric grumbled about wasted time, but even he seemed rattled. We piled back into the truck and drove home in near silence. That should have been the end of it. A creepy memory to laugh about later. But the lake wasn't done with us. That night, I dreamed of it. In the dream, I was floating in the middle of the lake, unable to move. The water beneath me wasn't water anymore, it was hands. Hundreds of pale, bloated hands reaching up, brushing against me, pulling me down. I woke up gasping, heart pounding, my sheets damp with sweat. I didn't tell Eric or Luke. The next day, Eric texted, "Going back today, you in?" I wanted to say no, but I couldn't shake the pull. Like something inside me needed to see it again. Against my better judgment, I agreed. This time, it was just me and Eric. Luke flat out refused, saying the place gave him the creeps. "You two are insane if you go back there," he told us. "Seriously, something's wrong with that lake." We laughed it off, but deep down I thought he might be right. When Eric and I arrived, the lake looked different. The water wasn't glassy anymore. It rippled, though there was no wind. And that silence was heavier, pressing down on my ears until I thought I'd go deaf. Still, Eric dove right in. "Man, this place is awesome," he said, splashing around. I stayed on the shore. My stomach churned as I stared at the water. That's when I noticed something floating near the far bank. At first I thought it was a log, but then it rolled and I saw what looked like a human arm. "Eric," I called, my voice shaking. "Get out, now." He laughed. "What's your problem?" "I'm serious, there's something in the water." Before he could answer, he yelped. He thrashed, trying to swim back, but something was pulling him down. I sprinted into the shallows and grabbed his arm, yanking with all my strength. For a second, I felt it too, something cold and slimy wrapped around his leg. Then it let go and we stumbled back onto shore, coughing and shivering. We didn't say a word. We just ran for the truck and didn't stop until we were back in town. That night, Eric called me. His voice was different. Shaky, desperate. "Mike," he said, "I can still feel it on my leg, like it didn't let go." I tried to calm him down, told him it was just his imagination. But when I hung up, I felt it too. Not on my leg, but in my mind. Like the lake had planted something inside me. 2 days later, Eric disappeared. The cops searched everywhere. His truck was found near the dirt road, but there was no sign of him. They assumed he'd gone swimming and drowned, but they never found a body. I never told them about the lake. I couldn't. Some part of me knew it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't find it. They'd drive the dirt road and only see endless trees. And that's the strangest part. I went back once, weeks later, with Luke. We tried to retrace the route, but the road wasn't there anymore. Just forest, thick and impassable. It was like the lake had swallowed not just Eric, but itself. Even now, years later, I dream about it. The black water, the twisted trees, the faces in the bark, and always the hands beneath the surface, waiting to pull me under. So if you ever find yourself on a back road in the Pennsylvania woods and you stumble across a lake that shouldn't exist, don't swim in it. Don't even look at it too long, because once you do, it'll never let you go.